Lots of people think German is really difficult to learn, but I don't agree. Can German really be easy? Natürlich, of course it can. And I'm going to show you how. Here are 6 simple steps to make learning German easier. So, let's start with step 1. You won't need a German textbook or a German app or German dictionary for this step. Just grab a pen and a notepad, sit down with a cup of coffee, and take a few minutes to think and ask yourself, why do I want to learn German? My big why for speaking German is about enriching my life with friendships and experiences. Plus, when I first started, it was about showing just how much German I could learn in 3 months for my blog, Fluent in 3 months. Perhaps your big why might be to have conversations with German-speaking family members, or to speak with natives as you travel through the heart of Europe. Maybe you want to find a job with a German company, read classic German literature, like some Goethe, Hesse, or Kafka, whatever it is. Finding your big why will make learning German a challenge you'll love. Next, you've got to pack your bags, hop on a plane, and set up home in Germany so you'll be surrounded by German speakers. Actually, let me rewind that. You don't need to leave your home to surround yourself with the German language. Step 2 of my method is to turn your home into a mini Germany. I have a few top tips for bringing German into your everyday life. Firstly, why not make your computer multilingual? Or better yet, set it to German only. Then, try out some German TV shows and movies, comparing the audio to the subtitles. If that's too difficult, the app Language Learning with Netflix is really useful for displaying subtitles and translations at the same time, and also changing the speed it's playing. For more listening practice, check out some German music and podcasts. One of my favorites is German Pod 101. Finally, when in Germany, or even in your very own mini Germany, try reading articles and books in German. It's always useful, and Link is a really helpful tool for finding a ton of reading materials. The third step is where things get special with my magic ingredient, language hacks. Yes, I call myself a language hacker, and you should too. Language hacks are simple ways to jumpstart your German. They're all about finding the best way to learn the most German in the shortest amount of time. Here are my top 3 hacks for learning German fast. Number 1, use spaced repetition systems. This is a great method for memorizing vocabulary and phrases, and it's probably the most effective hack you can use to pick up new vocabulary. My favorite tool for this is Anki, but lots of apps build this memorization method into them. Number 2, use mnemonics. Use your imagination to create mnemonics that will help you form associations so you can recall German words more easily. If you want more on this, look at the article about memory palaces on Fluent in 3 months. I've linked to it in the description. And number 3, use the Pomodoro technique to focus your study time, working efficiently in a 25-minute session followed by a 5-minute break. You can do 1 or more Pomodoros in a row. Just make sure that you're taking that 5-minute break between each one. This technique is great because it allows you to break up your study sessions into smaller, manageable chunks, resulting in better focus and a more effective learning experience. Sitting down to study for an hour can feel a bit draining or unappealing at times, and it's really easy to get distracted. But 25 minutes isn't a big commitment, and you can achieve a lot in the time when you're motivated and focused. So, set up a timer, put your phone away, and give this technique a go. My 4th step for learning German quickly is a simple but incredibly powerful language hack that I call conversational connectors. Like most languages, German uses a set of call and response phrases. These are conversational connectors. They are crucial to everyday conversation, but they're not usually found in phrasebooks. Conversation connectors are extremely helpful for a variety of situations, like agreeing with someone, sharing your opinion, or changing the subject. They're a great way to sound more like a native speaker while removing the awkwardness from conversations and giving yourself time to recall vocabulary. Here are a few to get you started. Here's an example of how they work in English. Someone asks you, how's your hotel room? And instead of answering with, great, you could say, that's a good question. The room is great. Thanks for asking. This is exactly the same answer, but with conversational connectors added, it creates a more organic feel to what you're saying. Step 5 sounds straightforward, but it's actually the step that most people skip, and this is what stops them from actually speaking German. I've met so many people who've learned German for years, but aren't able to speak it in real conversation. Your job in this step is to find native German speakers and have real conversations with them. The earlier you do this, the better. I actually recommend that you speak from the very first day you start learning. This approach is the fastest and most efficient way to learn, especially if you do it with native German speakers. And finding native speakers to practice with is actually much easier than you might think. No matter where you live, you can still find people, either online or offline, to speak with in German. italki is my go-to place to find native German speakers. Prices are reasonable and you can meet using a tool such as Skype or Zoom in the comfort of your own home. I also enjoy meeting up with other German learners. On meetup.com, you can find weekly German meetups in a lot of major cities. You could also try installing the Hello Talk app on your smartphone. This handy language learning app helps you connect with other language learners around the world and is a great place to practice speaking German. And you may also like to join my free Speak in a Week crash course. It'll give you a huge boost in confidence when you're speaking German after just 7 days. Finally, my 6th step to becoming a German speaker is to focus on the easy parts of the language. German actually has a lot of things going for it that make it considerably easier than many other languages. The trick is to focus on the parts of German that are easy to pick up, and to find hacks to help you get around the parts that are seen as more difficult. Here are some of the reasons German is easier than you might think. Firstly, it doesn't have tones like there are in Chinese or Thai. It uses the same letters as in English, unlike Japanese or Korean. There are loads of tricky aspects of languages like Hungarian and Czech that German avoids. German is a phonetic language, which means that for the most part, you know exactly how to pronounce a word when you see it spelled. Or if you hear it first, you can almost always write it out. English, on the other hand, has all sorts of funky issues with pronunciation. On top of that, many parts of German grammar are the same as English, since they're both part of the Germanic family of languages. There are loads more ways that German is actually really easy, and I wrote an article called Why German is Easy, exploring this in a lot more detail. And there you have it, 6 steps to becoming a confident German speaker. Find your big why for learning German, immerse yourself in the German language by creating a mini Germany in your home. Make smart use of language hacks. Use conversational connectors to sound fluent and buy yourself some time. Speak from day one, especially with native speakers. And understand that German is much easier than you think. Conversational fluency in German is just around the corner. And now you have the tools to help you make the most of your German study. Please like this video and subscribe for more upcoming German language learning videos. Vielen Dank, viel Glück und bis später.